Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Rabbi.
We're learning Mishna is Kesubos, Parak Zayin, Chapter 7, Mishna Hey, Mishna 5. Okay. Hamadar is Ishtay, one who makes his wife forbidden through a vow. And again, here it means she made the vow. The husband had the ability to absolve it, and absolve her from it, to nullify it, and he did not do so. What was the vow that she made? She made a vow not to go to a mourner's house or to a house of feasting or to a wedding. This was the vow that she made, and he let it stand. Here again, if she demands a divorce, he has to divorce her and give her a ksuba. It's considered his breakup of the marriage is his fault. Literally translate that means because he locks the door in front of her. By not allowing her to go to a base Avel, to a mourner's house, or to a base Mishna, or to a celebration, he is closing the door in front of her. What kind of door is he closing? It means to say, it's a way of saying he locks the door to happiness, removal of sorrow. When a person goes to a celebratory place, right, it picks up their spirits, right? It makes them happy. And therefore, if he doesn't allow her to go to any kind of a celebration, like a wedding, then, or he allowed that vow to stand, then basically he holds back from her the ability to bring happiness to herself, to remove sorrow for herself. That again is something that is not tolerable, and therefore she can demand that she therefore thinks that he hates her, and therefore she can demand a divorce. The same thing applies to when the vow says that she can't go to a base avot, to a mourner's house. There also he say we lock the door. He's locking the door in front of her. What door is he locking? He's locking the door that if she doesn't participate, right, in someone else's mourning, right, no one's going to participate in hers, right? If she doesn't go to some, if she doesn't go to any funeral, she doesn't go to any places to pay a shiva call, then she says to herself, no one's going to come by me. When it comes to me. And that also is very distressing to her. And therefore, if that's the kind of vow that he allows to stand, she takes it as a sign that he hates her, and therefore she can demand a divorce. So that's the first part of the Mishnah. Now the Mishnah continues in this case. If let's say he claims the reason he allowed this vow to stand is for a different reason. He had a different reason not to allow this vow to stand, not to go to these places. What's that different reason? Because he knew that in these places there are people who do not behave appropriately, and they will not behave appropriately with her. And therefore the reason why he allowed the vow to stand is because he claims that this is not a place for her to go. This is the kind of place that is, again, it could be either specific places of mourning and celebrating, or let's say the ones in the town. He knew that these kinds of situations in town were the situations that actually there is some, indecent people at these events that are going to not act properly with his wife. That's the reason why he said he allowed these vows to stand. If that's the reason why he gives for it, then she does not have a right to demand a divorce. Then he is not doing it because he hates her. He's not doing it to cause her any kind of affliction. He's doing it to protect her. And therefore, in that case, even if she demands a divorce, he does not have to give it to her. Next case. Now, in the next case, we're dealing with the following. And that is, so she made one of these vows that we've been discussing until now. And she says, well, you didn't cancel the vow. You didn't take away the vow from me. That's a sign that you hate me. Now, what if he says, "Wait a minute, you know why I didn't cancel your vow? Because I made a condition. I told you that you have to do this and this. I will annul your vow if you do this and this." I mean, that's what he said to her. So at the end of the day, she didn't fulfill the condition. So he's basically trying to say, look, you're having complaints about me that I didn't annul the vow. I made a condition. You didn't keep the condition. Well, it depends what the condition is. Omar lo, he said to her, I will annul your vow on the condition that you tell so-and-so what you said to me in an intimate way, or you got to tell someone else what I said to you in an intimate way. Meaning he's putting a condition on her that is really, right, that really much too hard for her to do. He's basically, if she goes in and she does what he's basically doing is, he's making a condition that's going to make her be ashamed because she's going to say something inappropriate to this other person. And that's the condition that he made, right? Here's the other condition. You have to go ahead and the condition is you have to fill up jugs in water and pour them out into the garbage. You want me to annul your vow? That's what you got to do. So again, the condition for annulling is for her to look like an absolute fool. In that situation, those conditions are not considered legitimate conditions, and therefore, Kesubos, in those cases where he made those kinds of conditions for the cancellation of the vow, those are not considered acceptable conditions, and therefore, if he didn't cancel it, even though she didn't do these conditions, nonetheless, it's considered conditions that are not appropriate to expect her to do. Therefore, the fact that he didn't cancel the vow, he has no excuse for it. She takes that as a sign of hatred, and therefore she could demand a divorce from him right away, and he has to pay her ksuba because he is the cause of it. Okay, now, so now the Chofetz Chaim says like this. So the Chofetz Chaim was starting the first illustration that he gave, and that was there are two people that want to make a partnership, and you know that one guy is not does not care about other people's money, and the Chofetz Chaim says as long as the conditions have been met, as mentioned before, you can warn the other partner not to go into a partnership with him. Now, the Chofetz Chaim in a footnote writes like this: V'zor achi, be careful, my brother. Shaleitita lahata mitam zeh, do not make a mistake, and based on this, allow the following. Again, scenario starts off, somebody wants to make a partnership with someone else, and the would-be partner does not recognize his other partner, doesn't know him that well. Now you know that the problem with this other guy that he doesn't know about has nothing to do with honesty or dishonesty. It's basically that he's not in a good financial place. He's not in a good financial place. Now, it could very well be that if you know this person is not in a good financial place, right, that you would not want to go into a partnership with him. But that's the situation here. Now, now you want to go to tell the other partner that he should realize that other person is not in a good financial place, and by doing that, don't go into a partnership with him. If that's what you want to do, that you cannot do. The oven gadolhu, that is considered a very great sin. Kamei de'isa barambam v'zeloshona, as the Rambam writes, v'mesaper devarim shagarmim, if you tell over someone things, im nishmu ish mipi ish, that if they would, let's say now, get back to the person you spoke about, lahazik chavera begufay lahatzer loy, rather you tell us things that would cause, because when information you're saying would spread, to cause damage to someone bodily or to cause him suffering, harez lashon hara. That counts lashon hara. You want to know what's called lashon hara? You got to look at what you're going to say and say, if this would get out and it would cause my friend some kind of damage, whether monetary, physical, emotional, stress, that is lashon hara. And this is not similar to other cases where we say that you should reveal the reason you're telling that in the case of the Chofetz Chaim, you're telling the other person, look, he's dishonest. He doesn't care about other people's money. So you're trying to protect him from some kind of a damage. But if the other guy is right now not in a good financial position, that doesn't mean that the other guy is going to get messed up. You're trying to warn him, you really shouldn't get involved. He has financial problems right now. Not a great idea to get involved with him, but it's not for sure that because he's not in a good financial place that this partnership can't work. And therefore, if now you reveal it to the other person, again, which could cause the other person now to back out, that's lashon hara. So if you're telling the person, you're warning the would-be partner that this guy you want to get involved with, he is dishonest. That means you're protecting him from damage. A guy who's dishonest is not a guy. You go into a partnership. That already, that has strong potential for being hurt. You're protecting him from damage, protecting him from hurt. That you can tell him. Again, with all the conditions being met. But to go ahead and tell him that the guy is not in a good financial position right now, which is not not necessarily a reason that the partnership can't go through, that you're not allowed to say. That would be lashon hara. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Rabbi.